Hi, my name's Tim. Listen, I don't know anything about side-by-sides. I've never owned one before, but I got to the point where I was going to buy a brand new Honda 500 or 520 four-wheeler, and I decided that since I live up in Alaska, it rains a lot. It's probably not the best purchase because I'm going to spend half the summer not riding it because I don't want to ride and get soaked. So I decided to start looking at side-by-sides, as you can see, and ended up buying one. This is a Honda 500 Pioneer, and one thing that I had a really hard time with when I was researching these models is I could not find a YouTube video that showed somebody tall getting into one of these. So I had no idea if I was gonna fit, to be honest with you. And I'm 6'4" and I'm a big guy. And so I'm gonna start the video off with that. I'm gonna show you a video of me getting in there because nobody seems to be able to actually post this online for others to see. So here we go. For me, I'm comfortable. You know, it's not like I have like 6 inches or a foot left over, but I've got a couple inches over here. Here it's fairly snug. Go to close the door, and it's kind of nice. You know, you can rest your left leg against this. It drives pretty smooth, so I'm gonna actually get some footage here of us out and about on the trails and things, because up here in South Central Alaska, we have trails everywhere, and we have very little snow this winter. And so I thought that maybe we'd take a little ride here and get some footage on a cool December day. I'm gonna switch it to manual mode here. They shift a little bit rough. You can probably hear it. They got the paddle shifts, so they actually shift pretty smooth with the paddle. There's some loose crap there. But it handles really nice on these trails. So a couple early observations. We've only driven it a couple miles. As the machine warms up, it seems to shift a lot smoother in automatic. When it's cold and you just start driving it, it shifts a little rough. And I had watched some YouTube videos and a lot of people had commented on that and had mentioned that. But I've noticed that, once we got about like a half a mile in, 2/3 of a mile or so, it started shifting a lot smoother. And it's got a decent amount of power. Like I said, I don't know anything about side-by-sides, but I do know things about four-wheelers, and this has a good amount of power just in two-wheel drive in this snow. It's not exceptionally deep or anything like that, but there's a lot of snow and ice, and these are just stock tires, and they seem to be doing pretty good. So far so good. So again, this is basically the maiden voyage. I've only driven it maybe, I don't know, a few hundred yards prior to this, but this thing like turns on a dime. I really like the handling. It seems really, it's very responsive, very similar to a four-wheeler. Like, we're growing up with like Honda Ranchers and Foremans. I don't like driving crazy or anything like that. I just like nice leisurely rides. But this thing handles it exceptionally well. And I think during the summer, when we get a lot of rain, the last few summers we've had like half the summer's been rain. I think this is going to be much better for me personally, just because you got the windshield, you got the roof on it. The windshield really does a nice job of keeping the wind off you. It's pretty cold out here right now, but it's fairly comfortable. These don't, at least the base model that I have, this is a 2023. Obviously they don't come with heaters or anything like that. But it's a pretty comfortable ride overall. So again, so far so good. got back in. We ended up going about 9 miles. We had no idea how far we were going to go or anything like that. We didn't really know what the trails were going to look like. We knew that there wasn't a ton of snow, so we figured we'd go try it. For the first ride, a lot of fun. It had a little bit more clearance than I thought it would. It also shifted in automatic mode, like I mentioned briefly. It shifted a lot better in automatic mode once it got warmed up. So I kind of just left it in automatic. It's interesting driving one of these for the first time, like on an actual trail, because a lot of the trails were like really tilted and stuff like that. So it took a little bit of getting used to. Because you know, with a four-wheeler, you get used to them, you know how to drive them safely and stuff like that. With a side-by-side, I don't have any experience. And so I kind of took it easy on a lot of these trails, and I like going for leisurely rides anyway. But I really wanted to make sure that we're going to make it back and not roll it or anything like that. So, but it was a lot of fun. I can tell you this, you know, I'm 6'4", and the big question going into looking at these side-by-sides is, can I get one that's compact enough where I can fit it in my garage with the vehicles, but not be scrunched when I'm driving up and down the trail? And now I can definitively say, at least for me, there's plenty of room. And I don't need a lot of the extra stuff. I don't need to go like incredibly fast or anything like that. Again, I don't know anything about side-by-sides. First one I've ever owned. I did buy it. Well, I was going to mention that too. So when I bought it used. This is a 2023. It had 64 miles on it. And so now it's got roughly 75. So it's basically brand new. They bought it and owned it for a little over a year. It kind of just sat there. So it's in immaculate condition. And I think it's been a good choice, and I think it'll be a lot of fun this summer. So really happy with the purchase. So we'll see you in the next one.